How many of you have faced difficulties in life? Can you please raise your hand? Thank you. Well, you are not alone. You are in a good company. Let's look at some examples. J.K. Rowling, who wove magic from the moments of despair. Walt Disney, whose dreams withstood a barrage of rejections. Oprah Winfrey, who turned a challenging past into a platform for change. Nelson Mandela, whose prison bars could not shackle his spirit. Now, what is common amongst all of them? Well, aside from being famous, they knew how to turn life's lemons into something far more magical. And it was not a secret spell. It was resilience. Resilience is the ability to bridge the gap between adversity and achievement. It proves that success is not merely an absence of struggles. In fact, success is the ability to overcome struggles. Now you might be wondering, how do you build and strengthen this resilience? And this is where it gets really very fascinating. Let me ask you a question. Think about a moment when you were filled with hope. How did it make you feel? Happy? Excited? Optimistic? So when you are hopeful, your brain is flooded with a feel-good hormone called dopamine. And it is this dopamine that fills you with motivation even in the midst of adversity. And this dopamine is crucial to build resilience. Now, in contrast, think about a time when you were filled with fear. How did that make you feel? Nervous? Sad? Stressed? So when you are fearful, your body starts pumping a stress hormone called cortisol. And this cortisol it's like a warning signal for the body that you need to prepare for the coming challenge. But excess of cortisol can make you feel demotivated and even feel stuck in life. So, how does this tie back to resilience? And this is the most remarkable part. If you consistently build and maintain your dopamine levels, you are able to manage your cortisol levels. And this balance between dopamine and cortisol levels is the key to building resilience. Now let me walk you through my own journey in life. So I grew up in a very small town in northern part of India. It is so small that we don't even have a traffic signal in the town. And for my high school, I had to go to a school in a nearby city for which I had to commute 4 hours every day. And when I went to the school, I faced a language barrier. I could not communicate in English. And later, I got into one of the top engineering institutes in my state. And during my first year of my computer science engineering class, my classmates made fun of me because I had never seen computer before I got into the college. And today, I am here giving this TED talk in front of all of you. So as I was reflecting on my own life journey and the success stories of these remarkable people, I came up with this blueprint for success. And I'm calling it as Success Circuit. This is what enables you to build resilience, to maintain the balance between your dopamine and your cortisol. And this success circuit has 4 key elements. First, faith, believing in yourself. It's like the spark that fuels the machine. Believing in yourself, in your abilities, in your dreams, it acts like a spark for your life. Second, learn from your failures. Just like you climb up the stairs to reach new heights, we need to embrace failures not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone to our success. Third, discover your why, your purpose. It is the heart of the circuit. It is what propels you forward in life. And fourth, lean into your support network. It's like a set of interconnected wires that form the backbone of your circuit. It's the relationships, your family, your friends, your mentors, coaches, all those who form your safety net, the backbone of your life. And when you combine all these four elements together, that's when you are able to unlock your success circuit. Now let's go through each of these four in detail. So the first, faith. My life transformed 360 degrees when I was introduced into a Buddhist philosophy by an organization called Soka Gakkai. And I want to share a quote from my mentor, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, who says, when your determination changes, everything will begin to move in the direction you desire. The moment you resolve to be victorious, every nerve and fiber in your being will immediately orient itself towards your success. Now let me share my personal story. So many years ago, I was preparing for MBA entrance exam called GMAT. And at that time, I was also working, so I could not take any extra coaching, so I was doing self-study. And GMAT, the total score is 800, and I was targeting somewhere around 730, so I could get into the top business schools. And as I was preparing and taking practice tests, my scores were in the range of 500 to 600. So I was nowhere close to my target score. But I kept going back to this guidance from my mentor, and I kept renewing my determination. Kept going back to believing in myself that yes, I can do it and I will do it. And on the actual D-Day of my GMAT exam, so you get your score the same day. So when I took the exam, I was amazed to see my score. I scored 750, which was higher than what I was targeting. And yes, I got interview calls from all the top business schools all over the world. And eventually I did my MBA from one of the top business schools in India. And now if you go back to the story of J.K. Rowling, she was a single mother who was struggling in her life. She was facing numerous financial difficulties. But there was something that set her apart. It was her unshakable belief, her faith in her stories, in the magic that she could create. In fact, her faith in Harry Potter was so strong that she might have even considered challenging Voldemort herself. So it was this unshakable belief that led her to become one of the world's most celebrated authors. Now, learning from the failures. Again, I want to share a quote from Nichiren Daishonin, who is the inventor of the Buddhist philosophy that I practice. He says, when a crucial moment comes, the wise rejoice while the foolish retreat. So going back to my own personal story, many years ago, I was going through a tough job challenge, and that was my crucial moment. Now, I could have chosen to lament, feel self-pity, or blame people, circumstances for this problem. And I would have been foolish had I acted like that. I decided to act as a wise person. So I started looking at it as an opportunity for next big breakthrough in my life. And I started practicing gratitude every day. And yes, I was also making efforts to find that right next opportunity for myself. And eventually, I landed into my dream job. Now, if we go back to the story of Walt Disney, he's the perfect example of someone who was able to transform all his failures into stepping stones for success. He encountered multiple setbacks and even bankruptcy. In fact, if he were around today, he would say that the number of failures he encountered are more than what a cartoon character will experience in a dynamite factory. But for him, the failures were not a deterrent. They were a necessary detour on the path of his success. And this is what led him to create the beloved Disney empire. Third, discover your why, your purpose. I'll share a quote from Patanjali which says, "When you are inspired by some great purpose, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world." Going back to my own personal story here, I was diagnosed with 2 health conditions at different points in time. First, it was PCOS, which is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. It mostly impacts young females. And later, it was IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. My initial reaction was, why me? Why do I have to go through this? But gradually, I developed spiritual awakening. I discovered my why, my purpose. I realized if I can heal myself, I can inspire so many lives who are going through similar problems. So I started doing a lot of research into natural remedies, diet changes, lifestyle changes, yoga, meditation. And guess what? I was able to heal myself. And in medical science, there is no cure for these health conditions. You have to be on the medication for the rest of your life. And now I have made it my mission to empower others to unlock their inner healing potential. And if we go back to the story of Oprah Winfrey, she had a very challenging past, but she did not let it define her. She discovered her why, her purpose, to inspire and uplift people. If you think about it, she is probably the only one who can make you laugh and cry at the same time on national television. It was this sense of purpose that led her to become the most famous media mogul. And fourth, lean into your support network. Again, I want to share a quote from Nichiren Daishonin. He says, "Even a feeble person will not stumble if those supporting him are strong, but a person of considerable strength, when alone, may fall down on an uneven path." So going back to my own story, a few years ago, I developed a strong desire to move into product management. I spoke to a few people around, but they said, it's going to be time-consuming, challenging, success rate is very low. But I was determined. So I reached out to people, mentors, peers in my company and outside my company. And eventually I was able to successfully transition into product management. And it was my support network that played a major role in my success. Now, if you go back to the story of Nelson Mandela, he was in prison for 27 years. And all this while, he was connected to the people in his network. Not just in South Africa, but all over the globe. And it was the unwavering support of his network that enabled him to eventually get free from the prison and lead the nation towards reconciliation. So now, you might be wondering, how do we actually put this success circuit into practice? So, to inculcate faith in your daily life, practice gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. Celebrate your victories, your milestones, no matter how small they are. Visualize that you are already achieving your goals. And to learn from your failures. Remember, just like iron, when heated and pounded, becomes a fine sword, same way, each one of us need to go through obstacles, challenges to polish ourselves, to grow in our life. And third, discover your purpose. To overcome your immediate adversity is your purpose. And fourth, to lean into your support network. Reach out. Reach out when you need help. And if you don't have network, then create your network. To wrap up, just let us remember that this success circuit is not only for extraordinary people. It is for each one of us waiting to be unlocked. So let's bounce back with purpose. Let us create stories so remarkable that even Oprah wants to interview us. And in the end, I would like to play a quick video. So just like this dancing kid, from now on, every time you face any challenge, let us dance, let us unlock our resilience, and let us create our own remarkable success stories. Thank you.